Well, J Biggs, that was quite a WrestleMania Backlash.
I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling the backlash.
One for the ages. We're just wrapped up watching the show, and yes, we are here, and it's time for our review. I clearly came up with a very profound opening line to begin this video.
And we're not going to say WrestleMania everything.
No. Sorry, I saved that joke for the predictions. That's all. I just wanted to test it out. So we're going to begin with the Raw Women's Championship match to start the show as Rhea Ripley defends against Asuka and Charlotte Flair, who's got the Cruella de Vil inspired gimmick tonight.
That's really good.
I thought it was pretty cool, and it's like, also I want to say, I haven't mentioned this yet, I've really appreciated Charlotte, how she's upped her robe game since she came back, because she's not doing Flair robes anymore, not the feminine take on the Flair robes, she's just doing like her own style, and so I appreciate that for this one. Did you notice in commentary they brought that, Charlotte and Asuka, they were tag team champions this year.
Right, I can't believe it.
Do you remember them being tag team champions?
I didn't till they said something.
Yeah.
Right.
It really shows you how much thought they put into that union. A lot of trash talk from Charlotte here in this matchup here. She's like definitely like the final boss mode in this match, it feels like. Working Asuka for a while, and then it's her and Rhea Ripley who goes on a big run. Charlotte with a big moonsault on the outside.
Right,
impressive as always. Charlotte with this double chop block and double natural selection somehow, and she covers them both at the same time as well. Did you notice that?
Yes, she did.
Yeah. A lot of back and forth in this one, and basically Asuka's there to take the fall because Charlotte gives the boot, she falls off the apron in doing so, and Asuka backs up right into the riptide.
I think we called this match right down the line as
pretty much
as you can.
That's pretty much what you thought was going to happen. And
right.
I think a lot of more clairvoyance from Biggs is going to be present here.
Yeah, that's right.
On this show tonight. But Rhea Ripley wins, pins Asuka, and so you protect Charlotte in that manner. And like I said in the predictions, she doesn't need to be the champion.
She doesn't. The only thing that was really kind of dumb was at the very end. She's pointing at her.
Just the blocking, yeah.
Just,
the match itself, I thought was great.
Yeah, the match was good.
Yeah, I thought it was. It did what it needed to do. Mm-hmm. It was a terrific opener. But yeah, it's that blocking of Rhea. It's kind of like almost childlike in her taunting of Charlotte after the match is over. Like, you didn't beat her.
Right.
Right. Not yet anyway. But then Charlotte's response is just, point!
Right.
Point to championship.
The new finger point of doom.
We had some banter with The Miz and John Morrison backstage where Morrison doesn't seem to know what a thirst trap means. He goes, they call me the Moist Sea Star in WWE or something. It's just really weird.
What the heck?
Yeah, and then we go to our SmackDown Tag Title match as RooDolph defend against the Mysterio Boys. And we didn't know this, but in the kickoff show, they show that, Dominik got beaten down. I love Robert Roode's audible, boosh! Boosh!
Right there,
Boosh
no need.
The punches,
No need whatsoever.
Then he's crushed by a giant saran wrap, like, trash can.
Yeah,
is Dominik. What was that thing they hit him with?
So contrived.
Yeah, so Dominik can't wrestle, and Ray needs to wrestle on his own.
But do you see how quick Ray dumped him, though? I mean, not that he dumped him. It was just like, all right, son, I gotta go.
Well, I'll figure it out. See ya.
Yeah,
but no, it's like, are you telling me Dominik Mysterio's not good enough to wrestle at Backlash? We had 2 matches in a row with very much like pop culture related tie-ins with gimmick. You had Charlotte Flair earlier, Rey Mysterio coming with the Adam West era Batman colors, which I thought was great. But that was a huge wasted opportunity. Where were the Burt Ward inspired outfit for Dominik? Is he afraid of showing the gams? You don't want to see any bare leg from Dominik here. So and I guess some people said, maybe it's Chris O'Donnell inspired Robin, but no. If Rey Mysterio is going to be Batman and Adam West, then Dominik's got to be Burt Ward. Them's the rules. I don't write these things. So it's a big 2-on-1 beatdown. Obviously, Rey's just fighting on his own. He's caught in the trio of woe. His left knee, we got to worry about that.
You're still from that one damn promo.
I know that one.
What was that, WrestleMania? Like,
it's like some PSA, but it's not even that exaggerated. Everyone else is exaggerated knee more than anyone else.
I guess so.
But anyway, Rey is just so vigilant and so strong. Like his selling, man, in this match was just like, it was up there.
Yeah, no, Ray looked good. I mean, he looked like his old self again. And I will say it's kind of funny because I thought that the way they set this up was that Ray was going to, come out, obviously, and just do the match on his own. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was going to be a lot shorter. They gave him a lot of offense.
Yeah, this is like for the story they told, man, this is long because not only did we get Ray taking a big beat down, Dominik finally shows up, gets tagged in, and then he also takes a really big beat down. It's not like a boom, and we're done.
Yeah, no.
Match 2, basically, or, match 2B begins when Dominik enters, because he does his whole own story selling this thing. And then finally at the end, you've got Dominik hitting this not great frog splash. He comes down like kind of short, so there's no bounce to it, like we've seen before. So he hits the frog splash,
and then he didn't sell the ribs,
but he sold it in honor of his real father, Eddie Guerrero. He pins and wins. First father and son tag team duo in WWE to be champions, Rhea and Dominik, and that's pretty cool history in the making right there. And the match I thought was good. I thought it was a little too long. I think it's one conceit, is that a bit too much suffering, I think, especially once Dominik got in there. It's like the same match almost.
Yeah, I think he should have, I don't know, just in my opinion, they should have just had him come down from the beginning maybe and just
sell, you think?
Yeah, just sell through the whole match.
I like the way that I like the timing when Dominik came out, but I think what just surprised me was how it's like, oh, we're still doing this like well after he shows up.
Right.
So I think that was its one real knock, but I mean the selling and the storytelling, it's hard to knock the length of the match when you see how well they do it.
Well, you know, people would have knocked Dominik if it had been a really short match too.
Yeah, if he just came in and it was like boom, boom, dead.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, he's a new Nicholas.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was great storytelling and just really cool to see, you know, them winning the belts the way they did, and now Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler can do literally anything else. It would make more sense and be more entertaining than this team, in my opinion.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the Mysterios, more than the Dirty Dogs, need the Tag Team Championship. So
yeah, that was good one. And also, I think the Mysterios, the champions, are going to play into a lot more of what we're going to see on SmackDown. And we'll get to that in a little bit. So I want to get one little thing out of the way. Backstage, they show Roman Reigns and the Usos are kind of doing their whose side are they on sort of thing. But what we need to talk about, Jay, is the next, like, what feels like 20 minutes of airtime is dedicated to this very long commercial for Army of the Dead, starring Dave Bautista. And I think Batista turned heel on us by sending some of his friends, these zombies, to be the Lumberjacks. There was no mention of this at all in the build, correct?
No. And,
no zombies to be found on Raw for this.
And you know, definitely, I would have told you during the reviews if there was something about that. But no, there was absolutely nothing at all. And that's one of the things that I think was kind of a takeaway from this match. Honestly, it could have been better than what it ended up being. If we had said that there was going to be some zombies there from The Walking Dead or whatever, what the hell's the name of the movie?
Army of the Dead. And I love the fact that, like, to you, one of like the biggest problems is if only they had advertised to us sooner, it was going to be a zombie lumberjack match. I mean, that's honestly, it's a problem, but it's the least of their problems.
Right.
Because
they changed the aesthetic of the arena and stuff too to make it look cool.
I will say, like, if you played 2K20. For all its warts and all its bugs, this felt like you were watching some of the DLC storyline, like where you get the downloadable arena and like zombie. That played like a video game, but it's just like you don't have a video game to promote. It's a movie tie-in. Like it feels like I just reviewed Capital Combat in WCW. RoboCop shows up, a fictional character shows up who's not on in the same world, and he comes and he goes. And in this one, and by the way, this is for the Lumberjack match, by the way, with Damian Priest and The Miz, we forgot to mention. Because really, who gives a shit about the match in this thing? It's all about the zombie tie-in. There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, there is a lot. I'm like, mind blown, right? No, seriously, okay, so one of the things that I hated about this match that they did was that they kept the crowd noise even though they blacked out the screens and stuff like that. So just in my opinion, if they wanted to do like a cinematic type match or something like that, do it with just a low level like zombie movie kind of thing. The aesthetics were kind of cool. The only thing that I really didn't like about the actual match tie-in itself was the way that Miz and Morrison had to sell the zombies at first. Now, you went to the restroom or something
I missed the beginning of like the zombies taking over the arena.
And because of how we were watching, we couldn't play it back. And so I was sitting there at his computer when he came back in the studio going, oh my God, you got to see this. But the way Miz and Morrison had to avoid these zombies.
Also, the zombies who showed up in the Thunderdome pictures behind them periodically through the night, that was creepy. And I'm glad they just stuck to that behind the announcers and not like in the ambient like Thunderdome. That would have been really bizarre.
I mean, this was like the ECW zombie.
I mean,
times 10.
That's what this was. It was like it was really silly.
Tim Arson.
It was dumb. We know wrestling can be stupid. It can be silly. And sometimes it can be funny. And I think context is king. And just knowing this is just some weird commercial for a movie. And they're not... I was like, What's going to happen to Miz and Morrison? They got eaten by zombies in this thing. The Lumberjack zombies, who, by the way, at least they were neutral. They attacked both Miz and Damian equally.
That's another thing.
And they didn't just mob and get in the ring. And they waited until the bell rang and the match was over for Damian to beat the Miz. And then they get in the ring to eat the Miz.
I'm glad Morrison. I'm glad the zombies were able to, even in their horrible state of mind, they were still able to observe traditional wrestling rules.
Yeah.
With the So I said to Brian, I'm like, that's what you want to do is put a 3-foot barrier and they won't be able to get over it. Just as I said that though, I'm like, a bunch of zombies just crawled over the barrier.
Yeah, zombies are notoriously bad at climbing according to the plot.
Oh, but hold on. Wait a minute. Before the end though, how about the death of John Morrison?
Yeah, I know.
I
want to play some flute.
Yeah, as he died going in below the...
Don't ever let go, John. I would love to see them, just no sell it on Raw tomorrow. I want them to be totally fine, as if nothing happened, and just move on with everything. That would be the best way, the most dignified way, I believe, is to end it with just, no selling it for comedy. And that's it.
No wonder Bad Bunny didn't get involved in this shit.
Right, this is way...
He probably read this and was like, dude, even
way beneath Bad Bunny.
No.
And yeah, if you're going to do something like this, go all out. Have, a score. Have music playing in the background. Have, the zombie...
Right,
instead of the crowd noise.
Right.
Go whole hog if you're going to do that. It is just really... It's really one of, if not the only, really dark point in this whole show, It just doesn't fit the vibe. And WWE is silly. It can do silly tie-ins and stuff. This just feels like it went way beyond the pale.
And Blood and Guts set back the business 30
Yeah,
years.
If you believe some people.
Just a couple weeks ago.
So they're moving Heck in a Sec to June. Apparently they're moving it way up. Sure. I guess that means we're going to see at least one of the big matches on this show. You're going to see it carry over again into Hell in a Cell, right?
Yeah.
5 weeks to go until Hell in a Cell. And what stories that aren't already going on right now can you build in 5 weeks that would possibly justify a Hell in a Cell match?
Not many.
Maybe something on SmackDown. Maybe maybe Big E and Apollo Crews Part 10. I don't know. Then we see a scene backstage where Jay and Jimmy are arguing about Roman. Jimmy calling Jay Roman's bitch. And then we go on to the SmackDown Women's Championship match as Bianca Belair defends against Bayley. Finally, some real wrestling again. Boy, it's good to get back to the normal.
Right, I know.
It's hard to pivot back to this. Now that we're back into normal mode. But Bianca looks strong this whole match, really. Yeah. Bayley makes her $1 million.
Yeah, Bayley's starting to take on that. I don't know. It's very like Victoria when you saw her at WrestleMania-esque. She's going kind of crazy.
You think there's a psycho element?
Yeah, I think there is a psycho element coming with her that's gonna.
See, I don't know if it's psycho or if it's just being kind of a brat. Because the laughing that she's been doing toward Bianca and everything, it doesn't come off as psychotic to me. It's just more obnoxious and overbearing, and I think there's it could go into psycho mode. Her hair is getting she's not
crazy.
She's putting different product in it now, so it's a little more frizzed out.
And she's got looks like maybe a tormented face on her. I don't know.
She had a shirt that kind of resembled the cover of Queen's The Miracle with the different molded faces together. There were some impressive points in this match with the front suplex, chest first, on the top of the stairs.
Oh, that looked like it hurt.
That looked brutal. Yeah. There was an odd looking slam at one point where I'm not sure who took the bigger bump or who it was supposed to hurt, but they recovered pretty well, and they try to get Bayley's laughter over, and that causes Bianca to fire up. Bayley dives to the outside and just eats shit. Oh my god, I felt so bad for her. They were trying to incorporate the hair again, kind of similar to what they did with the Sasha Banks match at Mania, where they incorporate into the story of the match. And then in the end, it backfires. I think they got a little too cute because they did this roll-up with the hair assist, but she couldn't hold on.
Yeah, it was like a cradle.
It was really the one weakness I think was in the match was the finish. It was creative, and if they pulled it off, I think it would have been fine.
Right.
And we wouldn't be having this conversation, but the finish did look bad. And it's bad when they don't show a replay.
Yes.
They said, she helped with the rope. Are we going to see it? No, we are not. But besides that, though, great match. Yeah. I don't have, besides the ending pinfall looking kind of sloppy, that doesn't take away from me the rest of the match.
No. Honestly, I think it got over what it needed to, and we'll see where we go from here.
Great test for Bianca, and Bayley just doing what she does best, making others look good, and making herself look good in the process. She looks great in defeat here. I think she was a great hurdle to continue the history they had, and making it work here in this payoff. I thought was great for making a star out of Bianca. In your semi-main event, you've got for the WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley defending against Drew Mack and Braun Strowman. This whole thing, honestly, the MVP of this match is Strowman. I didn't think I would say that going in. but he was incredible.
Yeah, he looked pretty darn good.
At one point early, in the first minute of this match, Strowman leaping off the apron with all the grace of a small boulder, the size of a large boulder. You've got, or maybe it's the other way around, but just plummets onto them and just almost lands on his head.
He looked like a buffalo that had been ran off a cliff.
And doesn't know how physics works. And Drew saved him on that bump coming down too. It looked kind of scary, and it was like one of like 5 times.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was a crossbody by Drew as well that looked kind of crazy on both guys' heads, and then there was another spot on the outside. I'm trying to think of how it happened, but Strowman took it to his head too. Yeah, the suplex, the German suplex.
Yeah,
belly.
Yeah, Strowman took a lot of big scary bumps in this thing. I was really scared for him, but he bumped his ass off in this one, man. At one point, you've got Lashley getting thrown through the stage, and we get sparks, kind of similar to what Strowman and Lashley did. Remember the first Raw in the Heyman era, where was the big spear through that, and
he was gone for a few weeks, and they actually mentioned that.
Yeah, but he gets up later for this one. But anyway, so that was cool. Like, yeah, this is just a great Hoss fight, and you know me, I love me and my athletic Hosses, the era of the super Hoss that we live in now, where they can all have great vertical leaps and do crazy stuff. And so, yeah, that's what this match was. Just so you know, what would have made this match even better is if Keith Lee were in this thing, because then I would have just go, blah, it would have been amazing.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah, Michinoku Driver by Drew and Strowman.
Yes, let's talk about
Picture
that.
perfect.
Man.
That was the least scary big bump that Braun took, because it was clean as a whistle.
It was super clean.
And so for Drew to do that was very impressive. But can we talk about also Strowman catching Drew and powerbombing him through the table at one point as well? But can you call what happened at the end? Because you pretty much predicted this in the predictions video.
Yeah, no, basically, well, what I said was going to happen was that he was probably going to, have a Claymore on Strowman, and then something was going to happen, and he was going to throw him to the outside. Then he was going to get I thought either the Hurt Lock or the spear on him. Yeah. And get the 1, 2, 3. So
that's pretty much what happened.
And it's pretty much, what happened. I don't know.
Claymore to Strowman, and then the spear to Strowman after last.
It seemed like the most logical thing. Yeah. That's why I went to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think Strowman was there to take the fall, and I think it's very similar in that way to the opening triple threat match with the ladies.
Right.
But I think that this is still a very entertaining match. Way overperformed.
Especially Strowman, dude.
Better than had any right to be.
I hope he's got some icy hot on his neck tonight.
Yeah. Right before the main event, Roman Reigns does not like the cut of Jay's jib, so he sends him to the back, and so Roman's all on his own here as we have our main event. He defends the Universal title against Cesaro.
That's right.
And this was great. It was just cool to see Cesaro kind of soaking it all in as he's making his entrance, his first main event on pay-per-view for the championship. It was a great feeling to see that. But I think Pat McAfee in his malfunctioning headset briefly tried to upstage this match.
Yeah, he did. And it kept cutting out. This was multiple times. It wasn't just once. It made him kind of sound like he was partially drunk or something.
Yeah, Retribution was coming to get him or something.
Right, absolutely.
But they fixed it. No, and Cesaro's got Roman's number early on for a long time, but he gets dumped on the outside. He works the arm. That becomes the real story, is Cesaro's arm. But Cesaro still has a lot of fight. Twisting dive to the outside after the sharpshooter was great. But then when Roman comes back, working the arm, talking trash, not just Cesaro, but also Daniel Bryan into the camera as he's called him DB and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cesaro's selling of the arm, I think, was just real. That's art, the way he sold it.
This was an awesome match, honestly. Yeah. I mean, it's just like we said it was going to be. It was an awesome fight between these two guys, and it made you wonder the whole time. I mean, we both thought Roman was going to win. We all thought. Right, but still, how was it going to happen? How were they going to keep Cesaro looking?
Yeah, he powered out of the guillotine. He kicked out a Superman punch. It was crazy. He looked so good. And the way he sold the arm again, the instant regret after he hits the big lariat.
Right.
And he grabs the arm in pain. Just, in the end, he tries to fight out of the guillotine one more time, but he can't do it. His arm gives out. Roman wins.
Clean, too.
Clean, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So no Usos by his side, no Uso chicanery. A performance for the ages for both guys. Some of their best work, I think, for both.
Roman just keeps getting better, too, man.
Right.
Wow.
Exactly. I think this is probably his one of his biggest tests as heel champion in this incarnation.
Oh, this is the best Roman we've seen, I think, ever.
Yes, exactly. So afterward, Jey Uso shows up, and he wants to beat up Cesaro for a bit. Then Seth Rollins comes out in the most ridiculous suit yet I think I've seen from him.
I loved it, though. I mean, at first it kind of looked like Willy Wonka or something from a long...
Willy Wonka on acid or something.
Right.
Yeah, so we get that teased stare down with Rollins and Roman, but he's, just kidding. So he beats up Cesaro more, like, to an extreme level. It was ridiculous. And he starts beating him up with the arm, and he goes, "Do you know who I am?" Like Gremlin is coming out.
Right, remember? And I thought we were going to see a face turn from Rollins.
Yeah, we didn't get that.
But you know what? Like I said at the end, though, as we were watching it, there's not enough room for those two big egos on SmackDown.
He obliterates Cesaro's arm, stomps him, we fade to black. And so now you've got these two uber heels on SmackDown. It's something that we mentioned in the predictions video. SmackDown's kind of light on like top tier baby faces who are ready to go right now. And some people in the comment section said Big E and Shinsuke, and those make sense, but they're not really at that point. They're in the middle of something else right now. And so what do you have now? Because you've got this conflict with the Usos and Roman, and I can see a real big cool program with the Mysterios and the Usos for the tag titles down the line very soon. But like, how long can you keep that drama going while you wait for the next man up to challenge Roman? Like, what's that going to be? Because Big E could be Big E, could be Shinsuke, but we have to wait a couple of weeks and wait and see what's going on with them right now. So, fantastic match.
Do you think it's going to be Jimmy, maybe? Do you think we're going to see Jimmy, the next Hell in a Cell, like we saw Jay at the last one?
We got the Jay match, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Jimmy match, to kind of bookend that.
Right.
As far as the storyline goes, Cesaro appears to be written off for at least a couple of weeks. Seth looking very mean, and Roman looking very mean. And so maybe we'll see a reunion with those guys down the line. But yeah, I mean, as far as like pushing Angle, we saw at the end of the show. But before that, the match itself... just like awesome stuff. So Jay, what grade would you give WrestleMania Backlash?
I'm literally teetering between a B+ and an A, but I think a B+ probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just like we discussed, the name and the zombies.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to give it a B. That's my grade for it. I think this is a great show.
And so here's the thing about the zombies I want to say. I don't actually hate the zombies. I thought that they aesthetically played into the match how they were supposed to, necessarily. It's just that I think it should have been advertised as that, and you know what I mean? It was a surprise, like, hey, guess what? We're also throwing zombies in. I mean...
it was not what we were promised, is all I'm saying. Didn't we mention that Damian Priest picked this match?
That's what I'm saying.
All of a sudden it becomes zombified. Like, is he a voodoo priest? Is that what we're getting at now? He's got Bad Bunny. He gets help from Bad Bunny. Gets help from zombies. Come on.
I could believe it. I could believe it if there was somebody that was backstage that went into like the extras locker room and bit all of them and turned them into zombies or something. You know what I mean?
Who's Patient Zero though? Right off the top of your head. Who's Patient Zero? I would say Aleister Black is Patient Zero.
Maybe, but he's a cult leader, not a zombie leader.
I know. It's splitting hairs.
I don't know.
Or it's like, here's something you could have done differently. You could have had all the wrestlers ready to go. Get Drew Gulak, get Humberto Carrillo, get, Mojo, you can't get Mojo Rawley anymore, but get all the people who are going to be in that position anyway around the ring set, and then the zombies show up and, like, presumably eat them or run them off or something. And don't just show it, oh, here's zombies, because, by the way, here's this movie.
We had better get Damian Priest and Batista at SummerSlam.
Priesta versus Batista. Let's see that happen. But what did you folks think of WrestleMania Backlash, The Reckoning horror show at Extreme Rules? Let us know in the comment section below. And stay tuned because, we got Biggs going to be doing his Raw review on Monday night. What will become of Miz and Morrison? What will they look like on Monday night?
Is it going to be the return of the Mac?
Morrison? Or the return of the Miz? Or the return of the Boone? I don't know where to go with that. But anyway, folks, for Jay Biggs, I'm Brian Zane. That was WrestleMania Backlash, and we'll see you next time.